My experience is that everybody's a little swishy.
Little swing in the hips, a little swishy.
Could just be who I've been around, though, too. You know,
Hey.
like maybe I'm cultivating kind of gay people.
Hello and welcome to Music.gay. I'm your host, Frankie Jupiter, and today's guest is a very, very special one. In a real way, he's the reason that Music.gay exists, and I won't bury the lead here. It's Logan Lynn, everyone. Logan is one of the fabulous folks who launched the .gay domain back in 2020. I saw that Music.gay was available. I snatched it up, thinking I might use it to link to my music. And shortly thereafter, it merged into something much better and much bigger than I had expected. As they say, seize the gay. So thank you for that, Logan. And thank you for the million ways that you've been instrumental in infusing this podcast with life, with guests, with encouragement, etc. While we're on the subject of praising Logan, aside from being the person that I probably have the most email correspondence with in 2024, he is also a very gifted singer-songwriter, producer, filmmaker, TV personality, activist, and all-around badass. He's been making music for a quarter century, sorry to age you, and has jams out through many major record labels and even has his own imprint, Logan Lynn Music. He's been all over the internet, all over your TV and your MTV. He's had music and ads for CoverGirl, Oscar de la Renta, VW, and so much more. He received the Award of Excellence from the National Council for his advocacy work in media to fight the stigma of mental illness. He was named one of the Portland 50 by Kink FM for his work in keeping Portland weird. He has worked alongside George Takei, GLAAD, Adam Lambert, PFLAG National, Roxanne Gay, and many other queeros. In 2018, he partnered with Portugal the Man to helm Pass the Mic, or the PTM Foundation, which is focused on building community resilience, empathy, and awareness through music, stories, art, education, and connectivity. Through this organization, he works with artists from NoFX to Phoebe Bridgers, Boy Genius to Julian Baker, and so much more. And in the midst of all of this, he has managed to put out 10 studio albums. He signed with Kill Rock Stars just a few years back and has collaborated with Bitch as part of the label's 30th anniversary compilation album, and was subsequently named one of the Out 100 Performers of the Year by Out magazine. GLAAD said he is a testament to queer power and gay joy. Voice of America says he's a tribute to finding community when feeling like an outcast. Advocate magazine calls him blunt, raunchy, and fun. And now Logan is in the midst of releasing his 11th studio album, Softcore, on Kill Rock Stars. Singles are already out, and the album drops in its entirety on June 7th, 2024, just in time for you to strip down or wrap yourself in a pride flag and sing along to songs like I'm Just a Hole, Sir, Where the Sun Don't Shine, I Get High, featuring Bitch, and the title track, Softcore. I don't know if you've all noticed, but I have a podcast, so I get to hear a lot of music before the rest of you plebes, which means that I've already listened to this album front to back, and then back to front, and then front to front, and then in the 69 position, and I can tell you it is indeed blunt, raunchy, and fun. And there are some extremely tender and intimate moments on it as well. A few singles are already out, but you can look forward to the next one, Bad At All, coming out probably like tomorrow from when this is released, May 22nd, 2024. Everything else, including CDs, vinyls, merch, streaming music events, and appearances, and so much more can be found at loganlynnmusic.com. That's Logan, LOGAN, music.com. You can reach out to him via carrier pigeon or through the contact form on his site, or you could try your hand at getting in touch on Instagram at Logan Lynn Official. But if you do nothing else, go right now and pre-order or at least pre-save Softcore at pocp.co/softcore. Links will be in the show notes, of course. It does so much to help us artists out, and we are really happy to have you be part of this music. So Logan is a trailblazer for the LGBTQIA community. He's an activist, he's thoughtful, he's tender, he's horny, he's got a mustache that would make Tom Selleck come. He's everyone's favorite fancy grandma, and he's frequently dressed like an Alejandra Jodorowsky character at the Met Gala. And if I'm going to continue, I might have to pull it out and spit on it. So without further ado, please welcome the incomparable Logan Lynn.
Wow, hi. Thanks for having me. That guy you were describing sounds high maintenance.
Yeah.
Appreciate the intro.
Of course. I'm happy to give it, and I'm so happy to have you here
Yeah.
There was so much more I could have said, but this is, after all, only around an hour-long podcast, so I have to
I'm so
stop
glad you
myself at some point.
didn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
I know. Now you got to live up to all that. That's the hard part, right?
Yeah, it's all downhill from there.
Yeah. So let's start with a simple question then, and you can just tell me in your own words after that whole shebang, what is it that you do? Or if it's easier, you can just tell me what you don't do.
What I do is gay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's the synopsis. Yeah, no, I am, I believe, what you call a multi-hyphenate. And I do a bunch of stuff, but I try to make those things work together. It's all kind of one big vision for how I wish the world was. And I'm trying to like be the gay I'd like to see in the world or something along those lines.
I love that. That's super cool. And multi-hyphenate, meaning that you're working in different types of media. You're working with different types of music and song and TV and film. And
yeah, I like am doing it all at once too. It's not like I have eras. Yeah, I'm doing it all at once, and that is, I think, when I'm happiest. Cool. I like feeling useful. I like feeling like I belong and am making things better. So I stay busy and try to do those things while I'm busy.
Nice. How do you keep things? How do you keep your mind straight in the midst of all of that?
Therapy.
Yay.
Yeah, therapy and puppies. Rescue dogs. I'm a fashion victim from way back. You know, I like playing dress up. I think a lot of that has to do with self-care as well. Like I want to cultivate beauty and an idea of I don't know, a point of view around fashion. And so I think a lot of the time, like when I start to feel like work is hard or things are too much, I just lean into the outfits part and it all seems really fun again.
Cool. That's a really interesting take on it. I think that there's so much fast fashion that happens in the world today, and like,
boo.
Yeah, boo, Shein.
Yeah.
I accidentally did an ad for them a couple.
You're canceled.
Yeah, bye me.
Bye. I'm hanging up now. Oh,
see ya. Good talk. I think it's true though that having a real style is different than having like an ever-changing fashion, and in seeing, like, I just watched this cool little video that was like 20 minutes long, and it happened to be all about you singing songs from Softcore out on June 7th.
I'm not familiar.
Oh, well, that's amazing. But the outfits in it, right? There's a voice in the way that you're dressing. And I think it's simultaneously inviting, but also mysterious. And cool. I really dig that, like, you know, I think it's easy to put on an outfit that you just went out and bought and be like, this is what I am today, and then change that completely tomorrow. But to have something that's like a through line is really cool. And I think it's a testament, to caring about it.
Thank you. Yeah, I take these musical eras very seriously. I want to feel and look the way I sound during these album release cycles. So, like during the New Money release, I had that Gucci contract, and I was Gucci down every day with like, diamonds, like just to be ridiculous. And then now I'm doing this other thing, which I don't really have a clear synopsis for, but I can give you several descriptors from other people.
Please.
That have happened. When we were at the Grammys, I went to a party with GLAAD, like with a bunch of gay musician people. And I will not name the name, but a very famous pop singer stopped me. I was dressed like I have been dressing, with these big hats and long, flowy, whatnot. Stopped me and said, well, that's a look. And I said, thank you. And then this person looked it right at me in my soul and goes, little gay Bo Peep has lost her sheep. And I was like, oh, happy Grammys. And I kept walking. There's been a lot of like, oh, you're a pilgrim, or like, I actually don't know what it really is. Yeah. I'm vibing with it, but like, it's so funny, the projections that are coming from the outside world around how I look this era. It's very, I would say it's very pronounced.
Yeah, I think like for me, it was the Hodorowski thing, right? Like there is this, and that immediately conjures like religious iconography. It
Yeah.
conjures like this sense of mystery, but also like it's inviting someone to come in, and it's flowy, and I love it.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. It's kind of a trick too because I get to go to all these red carpet events basically wearing pajamas. Like I'm in my jammies everywhere I go. This whole era, I'm very comfortable, which is
Yeah.
cool because I think some of the material and the other stuff around this era, I'm less comfortable with. So at least my outfits are very comfy.
Yeah. Well, let's speak to that, right? Like it's you're very open and raw with a lot of this stuff. It's playful still. It's still like big beats and fun and disco-y at times and 80s at times, but like there's also this like at the same time you're showing your raw underbelly.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm in a little bit of a overexposure mode again. I do that with my albums because I'm actually making them to exercise some sort of personal demon each time. Like I know that's not like groundbreaking stuff, but that is what's happening over here.
You heard it here first.
You guys, music can really
Music is
help you
therapy.
heal.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that. It's an uncomfortable process, and I think the reason it sounds the way it does with the dance music piece is just because the lyric stuff is a little bit harder. That's always been the thing, and the times in my past where I've aligned the sound with what I'm saying, it's like too much for people, including me. Like it's like, oh no, what's happening? So I do that for myself as well as just the listener. I think it's like a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, sort of theory.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think of like when you said that, I thought of artists like Micah or Mika,
Yeah.
however people want to pronounce it, like who content matches oftentimes the sound, or
Yeah.
on the other side of that, Anoni, who's like her music is very much also matches her sound, but it's like, oh
Yeah.
God. And some people do it
Yeah.
really well. And I think also there's definitely something to be said for like, I do something funny and it's sounds depressing, or I
Yeah.
do something that's like actually really deep and dense and like soul bearing, and it's got this pop tune on top of it. Like I think that's a style that works.
I think it's cool to be able to give people the opportunity to engage my music in different ways. Like if you want to get deep, you can bust out the lyric sheet and go there with me. And if you want to dance, you can dance. I'm fine with
100%.
both. In fact, I prefer you just dance. Don't
Just
don't.
dance. Just
Don't-
like do
don't
your
worry
therapy
about what-
through movement.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What was your start with all this in the first place, whether therapy or music? Like, how did you get into this place where you started creating? Because you're now 25 years into it.
I know. It's so weird. Like, how is that possible? Because I'm only 21 years old.
I know, you're just a baby.
It's proof that, past lives exist. I got into it out of necessity. My parents, took me to like a recording studio in the mall in the 80s. Were you around for all this
Oh
phenomenon?
yeah.
Where,
Oh yeah.
okay, so I did a little
Right
bit of
next to the
that.
glamour shots.
Yeah, but like the musical version where you
Yeah.
like go and like you sing to the Amy Grant track.
Yep.
I did that a bunch, so I kind of caught the bug there. I had weird childhood trauma met with cognitive dissonance around I thought I was a pop star really early on, like that's how I survived. So that was like
Like dissociated into that role.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in fact very specifically felt and acted as though I was a character on Kids Incorporated for quite some time. Lots of therapy since then, but
Yeah.
I do think like I was already in the mindset of like I'm a pop star, I'm a celebrity, I'm a singer, and so that part came first. And then I got a keyboard at some point from my cousin, a Casio SK1, and started, writing songs. And then, I was kicked out of my house as a teenager. I was a homeless queer youth, also, groundbreaking stuff that
Yeah.
you've never heard, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it's so real, and so many people have experienced it.
It is so real and so common, and I'm one of those people. And I fell into a scene in Portland as I was navigating that, where the Dandy Warhols and Elliott Smith and a bunch of just like the old Portland famous bands before they got famous kind of took me under their wing, and, you know, managed my career early on, helped me get a leg up. And I think from that point on, I just saw music as a way to alleviate the pain I was in, as
Yeah.
well as get something.
Yeah.
And I think that the vehicle part has changed over the years, like that I can use music or my songs or whatever to like get me somewhere, whether that's to safety when I was homeless, or whether that's like a, you know, a way to pay a bill or a way to connect with advocacy, like whatever that is. I think I realized really early on that music was a vehicle. And I've driven that vehicle off the cliff. I've used it properly, improperly. I've done a bunch of things with the vehicle.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, the through line there is that it has always helped me survive.
Yeah. That's huge. And I mean, like, there's this sense that I have that also not groundbreaking, but it's like every queer is adopted.
Right.
Like every queer is adopted, and it's by either necessity or it's by you found a group that really you click with or whatever it might be. But
Yeah.
like, it is this, you know, it's so funny. You know, we've talked a little in the past just in briefly about like religious upbringing, but like this story of that, I think both you and I were kind of like had rammed down our throats of, you know, this like resurrection and redemption and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to see how that becomes a necessity in our own lives to like sort of take on a new character and embody something that's bigger than ourselves, which is like queerness, or it's the communities that we find ourselves in, and then like have that death and that rebirth into the version of ourselves where maybe we change our names. Hi. Maybe we change all the people we spend our time with. Like there's so much that
maybe we change our nose.
There you go. I mean, there's just so many things that I think out of necessity, but also, you know, out of the desire to create, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and
you
be
do have this
something new.
character. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
So
did
why-
a lot of that. I did a lot of that.
Why do you think the pop character was like this kind of like expression that showed up to save you?
I don't know.
It's a big one, right? It's bold and it's seen.
So diluted. Yeah. I have no idea. I think I was very moved by TV. I was sheltered, and so when I was exposed to television like Kids Incorporated or Annie the musical, or, you know, different things like that, I was like really affected by it in a way where I think it helped me in a situation where I was being told I was like bad or had demons or didn't, you know, the stuff I was interested in was no good. I think it helped me envision something else in the midst of all that, and that something else was like really powerful. I also like, you know, secretly listened to the radio growing up because I wasn't allowed to listen to secular music. I listened to music in a way that was desperate because of the lack of access. And I think, you know, at one point, Suzanne Vega's Luca came on the radio. It was like a big song in the 80s. It was about child abuse. And I just like, also in that moment, I think that was the first time where a song like really reached me as a kid and like gave me words for stuff I didn't really have words for, gave me like a vehicle towards, I think, personal healing and growth. Yeah, Suzanne Vega reached me in a way that that clicked. And I think the Kids Incorporated, like Gloria and those shows, those silly little shows, they just like really like opened my eyes to the world in a way that I wasn't aware of before that.
And I think that like I'll project here a little bit, but I feel like your music is wanting to do that same thing. And aside from just being therapeutic for you yourself, like there's a very real sense of like your music is there so that other people who hear it will feel seen and heard.
I like that. I hope so. Yeah, I like the idea that it's useful somehow, and that you know, the thing that has happened with me and other bands so many times where I felt like, oh, U2, or like oh my God, not U2.
The band U2 specifically.
I mean, you also.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm not alone. Like that moment has been so important to me so many different times. I love the
Mm.
idea that that may be happening. And I know actually that it is because I hear from people that it
Hmm.
is happening. I've also experienced that at shows where like I've been in some sort of trance on stage and I look up and so is everyone else. I think
Mm.
that kind of stuff has sort of solidified my love, my need
Hmm.
for that to still be something I do. Even times where I've tried to quit music because of the parts that are hard,
Yeah.
I still always just create. And then there are songs, and like, whatever, we're just not going to release the songs, you know?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. It gets its hooks in and it doesn't let go.
yeah.
What are the parts of music that, let's say, you love the most and then hate the most?
I love talking on podcasts the most.
Good.
I don't
Fantastic.
mind. Yeah, I like that part. I like doing the press part. I like telling the story. I like
Hmm.
writing the songs. I love making the videos. I obviously love making like these relationships happen with designers and figuring out the looks and the vibes. The part that I don't like is the part where that I'm actually the part that I'm actually cultivating is the part that ends up being kind of complicated for me. Like this everyone's looking at me, or I'm on stage and I'm getting some level of attention that I don't actually want. I
Mm.
wish there I think I have really bad stage fright. I always have.
Hmm.
And so I've always tried to find parts of the music industry that I can engage that don't feel like they're hurting me or taking something from me.
Yeah.
But that's hard. The music industry isn't really known for that.
Yeah. But
I
maybe
do
it's
happen to.
changing, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I certainly have a record label that cares for me, cares about me, is like very special and I think unique in that way. Kill Rock Stars is like an anomaly, but I hope that things are changing. It certainly has changed for me over the years. I think that the parts that I love outnumber the parts that I don't, and I've been able
Hmm.
to sort of keep myself safe from the pieces that are really feel bad. And I
Hmm.
think the touring is hard for me. I'm not a
Yeah.
great touring guy. I love home. I love dog. I love
Yeah.
bed. I love consistency, and none of those things are on tour.
Yeah.
I like activating tours for other bands. That part's great.
Cool.
Get the good part and then send them on the road, but not actually have to be on the road myself. But the parts that I love that I think I need is the part where I'm actually making the song or the video,
Hmm.
and then getting to talk about that.
Yeah. Cool. And when you do talk about it, when you are making those things, what is it that you're hoping that you're conveying? Or is it purely therapeutic?
No, I'm just trying to get the poison out, I think,
Yeah.
in a way. And
Doing your
I'm
self exorcism.
Yeah, like it sounds corny, but it actually is what's happening. And I guess like I'm hoping that I'm not alone on some greater level. Like I think that's the broader dream, is that I'm casting a net for like-minded people to maybe find me or find each other or whatever.
Hmm. When do you feel like that is satisfied? Let's say you put out a new song. Is it feedback that you get from someone? Is it when you do it on a stage and you look up and people are there with you? Like,
Oh,
what
I
is
would
the
never look up. No, no, I just said that I do that. I definitely am too scared for it to be the stage thing. When that's happening, I'm in like I have to either be in a trance or wasted, and I haven't been wasted since 2008. So trance it is.
Congrats.
I Yeah, I think that the making the music when I feel like I've hit something that it can then belong to the world again, like that's the thing I'm hoping happens, is that the experience I'm trying to navigate or write about is no longer just mine and mine alone, but I've created something in a way that makes it where it belongs to the world.
Mm, that's really cool. That just you sometimes a sentence triggers an idea or a vision, and for me just now, like I was just recently in Baja California Sur, and I went to this one little island that like used to be where the indigenous people would collect clams and get the
Cool.
pearls out of it, and that whole like I've always known kind of how a pearl gets made, but like actually thinking about it and thinking about it in terms of what you just said a little bit, like
Yeah.
this idea that there's something that gets under our skin and we have all this time to sort of like gestate and roll it around and like let it be uncomfortable and try to make it into something beautiful. And it can stay there and like it's still under our skin until the moment where we say, okay, I release this, I open this into the world, and then it becomes something beautiful. And I think that that's, yeah.
I like that. I love
Yeah.
pearls also. So good analogy.
Am I wearing some? I am. Oh, look at me.
Oh yeah, I'm not, but I do love
You missed
them.
the memo. Oh, I sent it.
Yeah, that wasn't in your notes.
I'm so sorry. Next time.
Okay, great. I love that there's a next time. Yeah, no, I think that's beautiful if that can happen. I've done both, right? Like I've done something that is pearl like. I've also done stuff that just like re-traumatizes me somehow. I think it's like a double-sided coin. And music is beautiful. There's nothing about it that I don't think is beautiful. But there are, I think if I had advice for my younger self 25 years ago, I would say keep some of it to yourself.
Interesting. Cool. What would be the things, or is it content? Is it specific ideas?
Yeah, I think anything I said or sang from 1998 to 2008 could go, and the world would be okay. I think those things were important for me to like get to a place where I could communicate through song in a way that resonated with people. It was important for me to suck for a really long time before I could not suck. But yeah, I wish I could take a lot of that stuff back that I sang and said when I was high on cocaine and alcohol. I think a lot of that doesn't resonate with me.
Was it just anger? Were those dark years where you were just spitting vitriol to get things out of yourself, or?
Good question. Let's ask that 17-year-old crackhead what he was thinking. I often can't relate with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
well, and that's important too, though. I mean, that's a really important sentiment. The idea that like we have ourselves and some of those selves die off to make room for new selves is a real thing.
Yeah, I try to be really compassionate with myself around all of that. I've wanted to delete it, all my back catalog so many times, but I have to just own it. Like the reason I am who I am as an artist and as a person now is because of all that. And back then, the reason it sounds disturbing and dark and upsetting and clunky and weird is because that's how life was. My music has always been a reflection of how life is going for me. And as things sound good, that's a pretty good gauge that life is also, going well. If things sound dark and confused, that's because they were dark and confusing right then. But like everything was so different too. It's like so long ago. I do not mean to sound like Jeremy Piven or one of these comedians that's like, oh, woke comedy. But like, it was such a long time ago that I actually think I was doing a different thing. And the music scene, we were doing a different thing. We were pushing against the culture in a different way than people are now, including myself. I do things way differently, whether that's talking about like trying to be anti-racist and then whoops, that was racist. Or trying to like talk about my gayness in a way that's like completely problematic now. Like when I look back on it, like all of that stuff, whatever my intentions were, like it just didn't land how I wish it had in retrospect, but hindsight's 2020 and whatnot.
Well, exactly. And we change so much, right? And I think that like there are certain moments where you see somebody get put on blast and canceled and you're like, yeah, that was warranted. But I do feel like so much nowadays, like there's this sense of it's just very difficult if you did have a past that was shaped by something different, that was shaped by drugs, that was shaped by being around a different set of people than you're around now, that was, came out of misunderstanding, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
If you were vocal then and you're still vocal now, like it doesn't mean that you're vocal about the same things. It doesn't mean that you believe the same things. But I think that like the fact that everything is for better or worse, like kind of indelible, especially nowadays that everything is online and everything is videotaped and the NSA has stocks of literally everything we've ever done for our entire life.
Yeah.
Like that all exists out there somewhere. And I think that there's like not a whole lot of forgiveness available for people. And I feel like that is tipping people towards being less real when you're not given grace to be like, oh, interesting that you said that. Let me tell you why that's problematic and horrible. And then maybe you can change that rather than being like, oh, you said a thing 20 years ago. Fuck you. You're canceled. It's like,
Totally.
it's not great.
No, and like I just challenge anyone to have their deepest, darkest secrets from the time they were 17 on be available for download on the internet and have that not be clunky at times.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't start out as a whole healthy, happy person. I started out as a suicidal drug addict, and those were the songs that I made, and those were the interviews that I gave, and the video clips where I'm screaming or being insane on stage. Like that's because I was having a real actual mental health problem. So I think, you know, my accountability as an artist and also as a human being is like ongoing, but like I've definitely had to sort of forgive a lot of like what happened before 2008.
Yeah, that's cool. And speaking of forgiveness, you know what you want. What you want is forgiveness.
Hey,
so you play dead on your back like you did before. A perfect segue into the song Bet It All. Let's talk about it. I think it's cool. I think it's a great song. It's a little bit like 90s rock. It's a little bit
Weezer, baby.
Yeah. It's got a lot of things going on. Like, let's talk about it as a song, like the process of creating a song. Maybe walk me through the creative process, how it sparked into your mind, what gave you the idea for it, etc.
Yeah, well, I have never changed my process of songwriting since day one. I was raised in a cappella only church, so
Wait,
all
is this
my
real?
songs, huh?
This is real.
Yeah.
Yo, okay. You got me hooked. Let's hear it.
No, I was raised no music. If God wanted you to have an instrument, he would have put it on your body.
And you're like, whoa, look at this.
Well, he did. Thanks, God.
That instrument.
That's interesting. I've never thought about the sex connotation.
Oh, yeah.
That's so
Skin
funny.
flute, baby.
Elders at my church, communications class for all of you. You know, I started writing songs a cappella as like a cappella spirituals, and I still do that. So everything starts out that way. I for whatever reason, songs just either come to me or they don't. I can't like be hired to write you a song. I've tried that several times. Like, no, keep your money. I have to be inspired, and many things can inspire me, good and bad. Also, real life and television, both can work. But like, I can't just be like, I am writing a song about a red dress now. Anyway, what the hell was your question?
I want to talk about Bet It All. I want to talk about how you started writing the song, right?
So my process is the same. Always a cappella. I was like, oh, red dress, interesting. Wait, why am I talking about a red dress? Yeah.
Next song, you heard it here. Logan Lynn's next song is about a red dress.
I have to give you a writing credit. I started it the way I always start them. So like they just come out. The song is fully formed, like whether it's the chorus, verse, and everything, or just a part of it. It's like I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the shower and it happens, and I record it. And then I take that, and for Bet It All, same process, took that to my producer once it has sort of a shape. And I sort of flesh out all of the lyrical stuff before I take that to anybody.
Okay, that's cool.
And then he builds out the music stuff from there with me. He's my longtime songwriting and production partner, Gino Mari. And, you know, we like make it happen. I'm like not technically savvy around music as far as like playing instruments. I'm like super clunky. Like I'm an electronic musician for a reason because I suck. What up? No, I have a certain thing I can do that's really important. I write good songs, but a lot of that involves me humming at a producer and being like, go like this, do this, you know, this sound.
Make it sound like this.
Yeah, make it sound like more like boing, 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 stuff that's like not at all musical technical terms. And this man knows how to interpret that and has for years. So
Cool.
he then takes what I'm saying and makes it make sense. We work back and forth together and then go into the studio and record it all once it's been demoed.
Nice. How important in general is that process of collaboration to you when writing?
Well, if the world wants my songs to sound good, it's very important
Yeah.
that someone else be involved. If you want to hear what my songs sound like without people involved, one has to only look, you know,
Join
at
you in the shower,
2000.
it sounds like.
Yeah, listen up. No, but like, all those early records sound so
Yeah.
crappy because it's me on a 4-track recorder doing it by myself. Um, and that collaboration thing, I think can fuck something up or really help it. I've had both. And I think that's why I work with the same people over and over for years and
Mm,
years. I always go back to Gino, always, have the same mastering folks in the end because they know what I want. Why fix it if it's not broken?
nice.
And they are able to either get something out of me that I can't get out of me otherwise, or they are technically more savvy around pushing buttons and making instruments do the thing that instruments do
Yeah.
than I am. Yeah, it's so much better. Gino is has been involved in a lot of my albums, and I think we've both kind of grown alongside each other. So like the our collaborations are better than they ever have been, and felt super natural this time. Supernatural.
Supernatural.
It was like ghosts. No, it felt like very easy, and I think we just know each other so well now that he and I have a special thing that happens that I guess is like what happens with long-term relationships in
Totally.
general, probably.
Yeah. Start speaking the same language and it becomes
Yeah,
very
it's just
easy to
like,
get those ideas out.
yeah, shorthand, man. You save so much time.
Yeah. That's cool. And I mean, this isn't the only place you're collaborating. I want to move, if we can, just real quick into like talking about Past the Mic and talking about the genesis of the .gay thing as well. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
that whole world you're also involved with it's one of activism. It's also one of just like really making it known, like people who want to be seen deserve to be seen. People who are out deserve to be out and loud about it. And all those things are so kind of crucial to like, I hate to say like your brand, but like who
Yeah.
you are as a person, right?
My brand.
Your brand.
I'm an influencer.
You are though. Yeah.
Thank you. My work here is done. Yeah, no, like I said, I think I've always been trying to make things matter. I do not believe that me making a good song and then talking about how cool I am is enough. It's not enough for me, at least.
Should we end the
as far as-
podcast here then? Because I thought I was pretty sure that was what this was.
Okay, fine. That's enough. In fact, yes, it is clearly enough. I'm trying to balance out my ego.
Yeah,
with all
good.
this other stuff. No, I need to feel useful in order to be any good. And so I think once that clicked in my mind a long time ago, that advocacy work I was also good at, and that I could use music, other people's music, tours, live events, my own music as a vehicle to help people get services, whether that's for mental health or to help people find each other. All of that, making the entertainment industry and my connections and my own just experience, making that useful for the community in some way has been exhilarating in so many ways. And so, that has looked a number of ways. I had a mental health campaign that I launched, which you mentioned in your beautiful intro, won some awards.
Yeah.
It was back when talking about mental health and suicide prevention was not cool yet.
Yeah. Crazy
And
to think about how much things have changed, right?
I love it. It's so great. Like what we did actually worked.
Yeah.
But I did that and I was like, oh my God, like the stuff that's happened to me in my life and my songs, and also, this network of people that I have in the music industry, this is useful to like kids with mental health conditions or, for helping fight bigotry or, fight
Yeah.
stigma. Like all these things that sort of emerged during that time connected a lot of dots for me. And I also, I had a concert series where I had hundreds of really big name bands play, and I would interview them about their self-care and mental health. They'd play a few songs, and me and Portugal the Man connected during that time. Around they played the my concert series, and then they invited me to go on tour with them and activate all those shows with the campaign. And while I was on that tour, I was like, oh my god, you guys have like so much going on with community. Maybe I can help you organize that. And then they were like, yes, come be on the
Mm.
team. So like that was
Mm.
all very organic.
Yeah.
And that I joined the Portugal Man team in 2019 to help them organize their own advocacy and political stuff that the band was doing, activate their tours, whether that was in the direction of communities of indigenous peoples or mental health or voting, like whatever the band wants to activate
Hmm.
a show around, I've helped them do. And that eventually led to us starting PTM Foundation, which is now Pass the Mic. And it's been really cool. Like we make grants, we invite the community out to shows, local tribal members come, and we literally pass the mic over to them before the show starts and try
Cool.
to raise money and awareness using, Portugal the Man's music as the vehicle. That also led to me working with Lucy Dacus and Boy Genius and NoFX and a bunch of other bands to do the same thing. And I think all of that was kind of accidental. I just know how to do it, and so like so other bands were like, hey, maybe you should do it over here too, and we did, right? And then now it's like an
Yeah.
actual thing. And I think similarly with Gay, I would that came out of necessity too. I was being trolled so terribly,
Mm.
and like ultimately had to
On
like
your
fight
site or?
on Reddit
Mm.
as a result of a music video I had put out. This like I don't really want to like poke the bear again
Sure.
because they're all still out there, but like this group of trolls that were connected to like a comedian just like came after me. There were like 28,000 of them every day, all day long, just like
Jeez.
making my life really bad. And luckily, I am who I am. I think a lot of people shrink away during those times. I did not. I
Yeah.
was like, fuck this. And I made
Yeah.
it my full time job to just like go after Reddit investors and get them to help
Mm.
me. And we did. We changed Reddit's policies. We changed a lot of policies across the board. I worked with a bunch of different LGBTQIA organizations during that time just to fucking please somebody help me.
Yeah.
And at right then, like top level design, who are the founders of .gay, it's a tech company that like works in this top level domain space, came to me and they were like, hey, remember us from many years ago? We'd love to like partner with you on .gay. And I was able to like, link up with them at a time before the brand had taken shape, where
Yeah.
it really became more of a response to the trolls, more of a response to this idea that LGBTQ people just have to be abused online and
Yeah.
that's good for business. Like that's what everybody just does is
Hmm.
we just abuse queer and trans people. Um, I reject that. I rejected that at the time, and I built policies that created, sort of a new way of being on the internet. And I was also, again, able to use my connections in the entertainment industry for the community in a way that was handy dandy.
Yeah.
And it ended up being the most successful domain launch in internet history. I am not a tech bro. I'm like just
Yeah.
completely accidentally a tech bro. But that led to GoDaddy acquiring the domain last year, and I helped bring it over to GoDaddy where it is now. And I also am still in my role with .gay, and it's been really fun and amazing to watch it grow and to feel like we have this power as a people now to take down
Mm.
certain things off the internet. There's an actual reporting feature people can use where a real human being of some
Yeah.
sort can help you. Like all the stuff that I didn't have available to me when I was really going through it as a public queer person on the internet. We've been trying to create, and I think it's been really amazing to watch people like you embrace the domain and make it your own, get like a killer domain URL that you could never get with
Yeah.
.com. Like it'd be like $1 bazillion or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's also been really special, like to be able to help other queer and trans folks get online in a new way or in a funny way, or like whatever the way they're
Yeah.
approaching .gay is. Like I think it's been really special to watch it grow, and it is not at all like what I thought it was going to be. Honestly, like when we were launching, everything was in the direction of like, how do we make it diverse? How do we make it not just porn? How do we, like all this stuff. And it's just like not, it was never any of those things.
Yeah.
Maybe because we planned for it, maybe not. But like at a certain point, we were like, we need more adult creators on the platform.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we overcorrected somehow.
Now the meetings are like, how do we make it at least some porn? How do we make it some porn? Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, no, it's been really a beautiful reflection of the community, and we've been able to raise so much money for GLAAD and Centerlink. I just always feel proud every time we cut a check that like corporate America is giving to local community centers that are helping save people's lives. I know they are helping save people's lives because I'm one of those people who had his life saved at one of those centers. So it's been like a special full circle moment for me to be able to be like, haha, I'm in the room and I'm going to help the community.
Yeah. And there's something so holistic about it, right? Like there's something so all encompassing about this idea that, okay, it is let's call it a fringe community, right? Like it's people who've spent a lot of their lives on the sort of outside of something, now saying, this is our piece of real estate. We own this. We can get in at a time where it's still viable and vital, and there's interesting things happening here. And not only is there some sense that like we have protection within this digital real estate where like if people try to come in and bully us out of this space, there's security that says, no, you can't do that. It's not just our private club, but you're not invited if you're not going to act right. And there's also this sense that it's giving back to places that are really beneficial for these people IRL as well, right? It's not just like in the online space, because you don't want to be bullied off the internet, but if you are, there is still a world that you can go find your way in one way or another. And of course, that's crazy to think of. Like everyone deserves to be in all of these spaces. But the fact that like you've also got now these things funding the meat space as well, right? Where like people can go in and get physical help and mental health help. And these things are being funded by the very thing that is also allowing them to be, to feel seen and even spotlighted online it's huge. Like it's enormous.
Yeah, I love it. It's a feel good part of my professional life. And the idea that we can take money from homophobes who put up a hateful site and donate that money while also taking their site down is just a beautiful fine print clause in the whole platform. And that is just me being spiteful, frankly, when we were putting the policies together. I just had enough, and I still have. I'm still spiteful. I still feel like if you're going to take the time to register a domain, put up something that is anything but celebrating LGBTQ plus people, you can fuck right off. I'm going to take your site down.
Yeah.
And
we'll take your money and your site down.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's great. It's been great. It's been so healing for me just as a person who had to eat shit for so many years.
Yeah.
And when Logo came out, I was one of the first, if not the first, video that they played. Certainly one of the first people who hosted that show. And that went out to like 26 million homes that were not ready for it.
Yeah.
And I think I just became a focal point for a section of the internet at that point that just grew and grew and grew, and they still are around.
This was MTV's, like, this was the whole new now next or whatever.
Yeah, like being gay publicly was cool back then to other gay people, and that was the list.
Yep.
It
Other
wasn't
gay
cool
people.
to anyone else. But like that had to happen. I'm happy that happened and that I was part of that. It needed to happen so that RuPaul's Drag Race and all this like glorious every show has a gay character stuff and they're not a serial killer could
Yeah.
happen.
It's not only villains anymore.
I carry some of that with me, and I think
Yeah.
.gay being a place for me to get some of that agency back personally has been really
Yeah.
cool, and to watch it just become its own community and its own thing way outside of me or any of the founding people or even GoDaddy Registry, or it's its own community now, which is I think very moving and special. And I think whether you're talking about a big company that's registered and is using it for like their employee resource group like Target is doing, or you're talking about somebody like you who's using it to like put a vision of a better world, or cultivate something that is unique to our community. I think both of those use cases really matter a lot, and it's been exciting to see both sides of that, the .gay community really come alive.
Totally. So cool. What's been the most surprising thing about it for you?
I don't think I realized how many furries there were on the internet, and how all of them want a .gay, and how they're all on Blue Sky, and that .gay is like a Blue Sky thing. Like there's been little like very online things that have happened
very
that
niche-y.
have been surprising, and just like how many people are using .gay to meme and just be funny, or just because it's accessible and affordable, people are using it in ways that you would never use a .com or something like that, where your name is too expensive or impossible to get, or both.
Yeah.
I think it's been cool to see that. I think it, watching to see who registered protectively versus people who registered to get a live site on the internet is always fascinating. I've got like a list of celebrities that registered right away that pay for it every year, but do not have a .gay site live, do not have a redirect. And I think that's just because they didn't want anybody to get the .gay site and make a site about them, right? Also fine.
Are some of them very clearly not gay?
Very clearly not gay.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. And, some of those have turned into activations. Like some of the bigger names that were gay, I was then able to be like, hey, like, I'm just a guy that's running this platform. We'd love to like help tell your story or activate your site. We've helped some people get online that way too. I think it's unique in that way, in that it's like not like .design or .org or something that has like one specific purpose. .gay has always been whatever the user makes it, and I think that looks a lot of ways, but it looks very bare and very furry. More than I expected.
So many furries.
So little time. Yeah, no, they are into it, and so am I. I love it. Like, what better use case than just the entire furry community?
Sure. I mean, you said you love puppies anyway, so you're just one step away, right?
I love puppies.
Great. So, okay, let's jump back in then to like, I feel like all these things have been not happenstantial, not that that's a word, but like, like you said, like you were just good at these things. And so organically they grew into what they were. But what have been some of the things do you have like the biggest dream for your life that you're still trying to like actively make happen? Or do you feel like you're kind of just like, dude, you're doing it?
Oh God. I think feeling peaceful inside is the goal. I'm always working on that. All this external stuff fights against that, frankly. Frankie. No, it fights against it. Like if my goal is inner peace and just tranquility, like me being like, my new song, I'm Just a Holster, has released, is not the way you get that.
Yeah.
So I'm
or maybe it is. Maybe it is.
So far it hasn't worked, but maybe. I think I'm double signaling probably, which is my specialty. But I think the times where I've felt successful like getting signed to Kill Rock Stars, that was a big one. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, finally, like that's the only record label I've ever wanted to be signed
Mm.
to. That was a big one. And I think getting engaged last year was cool.
Mm.
I feel like having a little bit of a family sounds nice, and just
Yeah.
like I'm like into this idea that life is like looking the way it's going to look for a while. I love change, but I'm over personal change.
Yeah.
I have grown enough.
Yep.
I am not into it. I'm done growing and changing. Just marry me. Let's have a whatever we're gonna have, but
Yeah.
let's start that, get that show on the road. I think for so many years I put off personal life
Yeah.
because I was chasing this nonsense that I continue to chase,
Of course.
but with
The
a
dragon.
different boundary around it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I had a moment where I was like, oh, cool, a ring on my finger. That's a nice feeling. I apparently that is one of the things that I want. So
Yeah.
to each their own. For me, that has felt nice, and planning a wedding and all that shit just seems cute as hell.
Yeah.
And is the opposite of suffering in my mind. Like for some
Yeah.
people, that's going to sound like absolute suffering.
Sure.
In my mind, it's not. So that's why I'm getting married, and maybe you don't need to. Everybody, just this is what's making me happy.
And not everyone needs to be a musician either.
They don't, and not
You know?
everyone has to be a fashion victim. I'm
Yeah.
doing me.
Yeah.
Not everyone is trying to train a puppy during this entire conversation. But I am.
0% interest from me. The marriage thing,
Yeah.
sure, I do it. I'm collecting rings at this point. I'm going
Love
to be
it.
Thanos in a couple of years, but
Yeah.
as far as the puppy thing, no, thank you.
No.
Give me
No,
back to the
I
furries,
know.
maybe, but not
Pups, not puppies.
exactly.
I only know that because of my work with GAAAAAAAY. I didn't know that before.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I feel like I have, to answer your question more succinctly, I think I've done the thing I set out to do.
Cool.
And all of this feels like gravy. I think, me being sober as long as I ever was, fucked up, has been that was a cool anniversary in March to be like, oh,
Nice.
cool. Like 16 years is a long time. It's as long as I was wasted.
Yeah.
That has felt cool. I'm letting myself just like sit down when I hit the summits now, instead of being like, I'm at a summit, I see the next one. Like, it's like, no, girl, just like enjoy it.
Yeah.
You're like, this is
a nice
this
view.
is the thing. Yeah, it's lovely up here.
Yeah. That
Little
one's
short of
slightly
breath.
higher, but you don't need to be there.
No, you've been so much higher before. It's not all it's cracked out to be.
Totally. What's the dream in your life that you've achieved that you're maybe most stoked about? Is it the ring? Is it the sobriety? Is it your success as a musician? Is there one thing that you can say, this is the one moment where I was like, yeah, that's great?
I really liked when I finally figured out my skin routine.
Hell yeah.
I fought my skin for years and years, and then like a few years back, I like figured it out and was like, oh my God, thank God. And ever since then, it's been great. I think those kinds of things really do ultimately matter.
So let's hear it.
That was a vapid. Oh, you're going to die if I tell you.
No, I need to know now.
Okay. I use a 3-step skin system every day that involves a cleanser, a liquid exfoliant, as well as sort of a cream exfoliant.
Are you going
a
to drop
moisturizer.
names, or are we going to have to just...
Paula's Choice.
Paula's Choice.
Have you ever heard of this?
It's Paula Deen, and it's all just butter.
It's not.
No,
it's
okay.
not. But it doesn't sound fancy. It's mid-range. It's like the best kept secret.
Great.
I love Paula's Choice.
No
I also
gatekeeping
use
on
a
this
skin
podcast.
brush. I also use an LED mask. I use a mud mask twice a week. I do a lot of stuff, but like I've got the routine down where it like works.
Yeah, because you're 107 years old, right?
I am
Yeah, and you look
107 today.
like a
Thank
baby.
you. Happy birthday to me and my skin. Yeah, so that was important, and I think that like
Cool.
even though that's shallow, like
It's not.
it kind of is important when your face is out there all
Yeah.
the time. Like I needed to figure that out. So that was cool, and I think I'm really, really, really proud of the way this new record came out. I think this is the first. I've been signed to a lot of labels, big and small, and I've been dropped by every single one of them.
Gray Star, EMI, Caroline.
Yeah, just
Dandy
like the reason the
Warhols.
list is so long is because they were like, thank you for the one album and one single. Goodbye.
Bye. Yeah.
And that's just a product of labels being like, gay, money, let's get it, and not really being
Yeah.
down to invest in me or care about my
As an
art.
artist.
Yeah. So I think, landing Kill Rock Stars during the pandemic when everything was so bleak, that was
Mm-hmm.
really special and will always be maybe the most special thing that's happened. I don't
Cool.
think it's often that people at my age get their big break and then get to
Most
do it
people don't live to
again.
107. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And thank you, Adrenochrome. Is that what it's called?
That's right. Yeah.
Please don't come for me, more trolls. I'm just fucking
Oh my God,
kidding.
they're coming. They're coming. They're coming for you and Hillary.
I am kidding. But I do think that I allow myself to feel celebrated and happy about that pretty frequently. And the idea that I would get a second record and all these other projects and a film that they are into it and they know what to do with it, where it's successful enough where I get to do it again. All of that is beautiful, and I will never not feel grateful. I've also been able to open the doors to get other people through the gates, which has been cool. I think Kill Rockstar is trying to be a queer and trans centered label.
Hell yeah.
Is really special, and I'm useful in that environment.
Mm-hmm. So we've heard. That's awesome. Well, I think that, I usually wrap up by doing a little lightning round. And I think that we're about at that time. Where do you go when you die?
Ooh, I hope to where all my dead puppies are.
Oh, the backyard?
Sorry, I didn't mean to make that a bummer.
No, it's fine.
I just hope that there's somewhere good. Yeah, I don't know that you go anywhere, but I do sense that it is not hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
Forever.
And if it is, like, oh well.
Oops.
Oh well. I didn't hear that trumpet sound in time, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that happens. Next question, fittingly enough, is there a God?
I'm going to say yes because I believe that God is love, and I definitely believe in love.
Yeah.
But I don't believe there's a magic sky daddy.
Oh, but wouldn't it be nice if there was some days?
If there is, he has some explaining to do.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. Magic Sky Daddy.
Yeah.
What have you done? Why?
Yeah, what have you done?
Can anyone be a musician?
No.
Hard stance.
I just say that because I think too many people are trying to be right now that shouldn't,
full stop.
You can just be a real housewife. You don't have to be a real housewife who sings.
Sure. Do you believe that anyone is really 100% straight?
My experience has been no. But I also think, good for them if they are. That's cool. I think it's hard to say because if you just go nature, then no, right? Because animals are kind of gay.
Yeah.
My experience is that everybody's a little swishy.
Little swing in the hips, little swishy.
Could just be who I've been around though, too. Maybe I'm cultivating kind of gay people.
We self-select, right? I'm cultivating kind of gay people. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's me too. I hope that that's one of the things that all of us in the LGBTQIA community can share in common is that all of our friends, regardless of how straight they were when we met them, are just a little gayer for knowing us.
Yeah.
Just slightly gayer.
Yeah, or at least we've given them a gay sensibility. Everyone should have a gay sensibility about them.
Yeah. Everyone should have gay friends.
Yeah, everyone should try to be culturally queer.
Amen. Amen. What's your favorite song?
Right now or always?
Well, it changes. You can give me both.
Right now I'm listening to a lot of Girl in Red, her new record. I love that.
Is this where the red dress came from earlier in your mind?
Maybe.
Subconsciously back of mind.
Oh my God, I'm trying to get on Girl in Red's radar. And then my favorite song of all time, probably To Be of Use by Smog. I think that's why I covered it. That song has always meant something to me.
The cover is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Is it out already and people can hear it already? Yes.
It is. Yeah, that was the first single and video we released. Yeah. It's out now.
It's so nice. It was like, that was my introduction to your, not your music, but your musicality, and
Cool.
hearing it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it breathed a new life into that song that I thought was really cool and powerful and beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Favorite book?
I really think every gay should read The Velvet Rage. That's mattered to me a lot.
Cool. Favorite color?
Blue.
Flavor?
Vanilla.
Word of the year?
What?
Word of the year?
Vanilla is?
No. What is your word of the year?
Oh, I was like, weird.
Vanilla. That's my new
vanilla.
word of the year. I'm going to go straight up vanilla. Let's see what happens.
Girl. Scandival.
Say more.
That's Vanderpump.
Okay. Is it like a carnival of scandal?
It was like just like the shorthand for the big thing that's happened the last 2 seasons. I'm sorry, it's all I could think of.
Okay, I love it. Scandival. Great. Okay, fuck, marry, kill. But you have to choose them.
Oh.
Yeah.
And can I just fucking marry my fiance and kill someone else? No.
Absolutely.
He's out. Okay, hard. Fuck. Maybe the guy from Twister.
Love
marry somebody really rich.
Love it.
But who's also nice.
Oh, that's hard to find.
I know. Do I have to find a name? I can't think of anybody really rich and nice.
Yeah, no, that's because they don't exist. But
and kill, I think probably someone who deserves it.
That's a good start.
Yeah, like I don't know that I believe in capital punishment, but like every time I open the obituary, I think, that's too bad. That's not what I was hoping to see there today.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's a sweet way to answer that.
Okay, good.
If this podcast had a slogan, what would it be?
I mean, I feel like the title is so good. Like, music is so gay is what I would do, but just with like a million O's and a million A's.
Totally.
And I also think like, you know, there's so many funny old, like, what did they used to say to each other in the 1950s before you could be gay openly? Like some of that, like this
friends of
Friends of Dorothy.
Friends of Dorothy.
You have like the whole sugar in your back pocket thing we said earlier.
A little light in the loafers, this one is, huh?
Yeah, I like all of that.
Love it. Okay, well then I'll just use a bunch of 50s euphemisms and then music.
Yeah, just rattle them off.
I assume "so" and "gay" also need to be capitalized, right?
Yeah, and you have to have like, you know, at least 10 O's and 10 A's.
Okay, that's perfect. I just typed this up for you. I think that should work.
Also, I like to say gay is good. Like that was always the thing that like those old, like the first Christopher Street Parade signs, like all of those signs, like when I was thinking about what .gay's initial branding and marketing should be, it was all pulled from that, like gay is good idea.
Nice. Gay is good.
Yeah. Music good. Gay good.
Music good. Gay
good.
Good.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Music.good.gay.good.
Yeah.
Great. We've wrapped it up. We've hit the nail on the head. We killed it. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Sir Logan Lynn?
No, other than everyone, please go check out my new record and film and stay tuned because we have more stuff incoming. It's going to be a fun year.
Yeah.
Oh, and go register your .gay domain so we can make a bigger donation.
Yeah, totally. That's something that I'll put in a little after the fact thing of how you can do that and if we have any discounts for you, which I'm sure we might.
I think we might.
We just might. So thank you everyone for tuning into Music.gay. Holler at us on Instagram at music.gay. It's all spelled out. And email us, same thing, music.gay, all spelled out, at gmail.com.
Music good, gay good.
Good. Thank you so much, Logan.
Thank
you
you
for all that you've done for the queer communities and for the music, for the .gay empire that we're all building together. And everyone, like Logan said, go to pocp.co/softcore. Is that the best place to pre-order and everything?
I think so. Yeah, it's such a weird, like, it's one of these like DSPs where it's all in one place. You can also just go to loganlynnmusic.com and like everything's there.
So go to loganlynnmusic.com and do check out all of that stuff. Check out previous albums, get some of the merch. I just bought the deluxe double vinyl edition of one of your past albums. I'm stoked to get it.
Thank you.
I'll have it spinning on my record player. I'll send you a little video. It'll be real cute.
That's so exciting. I will post it.
Good, great. Everyone do everything you can to support your friends if they're musicians. Support gay music. Pre-order, pre-save. All those things are actually really helpful. I think that's all. Logan, you're wonderful. Everyone have a wonderful week.
You are too. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, Logan. Thank you all. Music, good, gay.
Good.
Good.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. Just wanted to pop in here at the end of the episode and let you know that we do have the okay to use the code Capital Music Monday, all caps Music Monday, to get you a free year of your domain of choice at the .gay top level domain. So go to porkbun.com. Strange website name, I know, but it's a great website. porkbun.com, porkbun, and sign up for a .gay website that you want and use the code Music Monday, and it will be free for a year. This is an amazing deal. Thank you, GoDaddy. Thank you, ohhey.gay. Thank you, Porkbun, everyone involved with this. Thank you, Logan, for a wonderful episode and for making this a possibility. Big time appreciated. Say goodbye. Bye.